welcome to another episode of the Sales Manager Academy podcast. As always, I'm your host, Omar, and we talk about leadership in the retail setting. Now, we're not talking about big box retail, we're talking about smaller spaces, right? These are typically going to be smaller companies, maybe some mom and pop. We have a few locations, maybe just one. But the goal is to help you transcend where you're currently at to become a better leader for your people, to be able to help with some of those headaches that you think are unsolvable or you think it's just you're spinning your wheels. And today we're going to be talking about the difference between looking for unicorns and sharks and then getting the ants, okay? The people that are actually going to drive the company forward. They're going to continue to push forward because you're thinking as, in retail sales, I don't care if you're in appliances and furniture and AV and wireless. You're thinking, I just need to go find me those unicorns. I need to go find me those A's personalities. I need to go find me those sharks that are just going to kill it and do that. That's ass backwards. So that's actually going to keep pushing you back and be the reason why you feel like you're spinning your wheels because they will leave you. They are not there for the long term. And that's the hardest thing for a lot of people to really understand because you don't have something to help you really get forward and push through to what you should be able to accomplish, which you should be able to do. So you're not feeling like you're spinning wheels. Okay. And that's more like you trying to find a needle in a haystack when you're looking for those personalities. Because the truth is, they already have, their skill set, yes. And that's part of the reason why they will not stick around for the long term and they will leave you because they know like, hey, this is just a temporary stop until I find something else. Or maybe they just can't find something else because whatever personality traits they have, right? They don't work well with teams. They don't do well in a group environment. They're constantly at odds with, the ops team or the install teams or whatever the case is. Because we all know, we all understand that the sales process truly begins when the customer has purchased because the fulfillment process is the actual sales process because we need to keep them on board because there are going to be hiccups, there are going to be issues that arise. Okay. And that's just unfortunately the nature of things because we live in the real world. There isn't something that's going to be 100% all the time going to always work without an issue. Okay. Stuff happens in the real world, right? Accidents, product issues, okay? Product damage on route to your facilities, not even something from your facility to the clients. Things like that that could push things back. Okay. So that's where we as true salespeople understand, as true sales professionals, that the sales process doesn't begin until we've actually have taken payment because the fulfillment process is the actual sales process. Up until that point, we haven't even really done much. Okay. Just because you got them to sign on the dotted line doesn't mean it's actually been closed. Okay. And that's where a lot of people don't understand. And that's where your unicorns, your sharks, your, ace in the holes, if you want to call them that, are really setting you backwards. What you need to be able to do is have a system that's actually going to help you build up a team. And that's where you need a team of really worker ants. It's not that they're mindless. They know what they got to do and they're constantly doing it and they will get better over time. And because they're consistent drivers of success, you will only see their success grow. And you guys have seen it. Okay. In the real world, ants are fucking amazing. They accomplish so much. And if you have a fucking house and you've been dealing with ants, you know exactly what I'm talking about because it's so fucking hard to get rid of them. Okay. I say that because I've been fighting them for like over a year. Okay. But it is truly amazing what they can accomplish. Okay. And they get at it and they have a method and they're consistent and they're still going at it because they're successful. And that's the kind of mindset you have to have as a leader that I need to build a team. And today I'm going to give you 3 steps to be able to help you get there. Okay. So the first, we kind of touched a little bit on it, is having a process. And I'm not talking about a process once they've come on board. I'm talking about having a process before they even come on board. You need to have a process for hiring, not, oh, this is a gut feeling. I just want to bring them on board. No. Or you know what? They remind me of such and such, or they remind me of myself when I was that age. I feel that they got it. Okay, what in the interview process showed you that they have it? What skills do they currently have to show you that we can bring them on board and they will be ready within a 90-day period? Because be realistic. If you think that you're going to bring somebody on board and in 2 weeks they're going to be able to accomplish what your veterans of 5 years can do, no, it doesn't work that way. But Omar, they got the same experience, they got industry experience. Great. Is your company set up the exact same way as the company that they came from? No? Okay. There is going to be a learning curve that's going to take a lot longer than 2 fucking weeks to go through. Okay? So you need to understand that from the get go. So you have to have something in place when hiring people. Okay? I like to use a STAR method because it allows me to ask questions to understand their current skill sets and actually have something tangible from them on what issues they've worked through, how they worked through the issues, what results they got from those. And it allows me to see those skill sets in action without needing to go through needless shadowing or role plays. Okay? Is it 100% of the time going to work? No. But it's going to work a whole lot fucking longer and better than your gut feeling. Because these people, I'm being systematic about who I'm bringing on board. And by being systematic, I can see those skills that I know will be successful and will work in the long term with us in the organization. And that's going to lead your people to actually want to grow because they're going to see, okay, they have this skill set, they have this. In the next step, we're going to talk about why they're going to stick a little bit longer than what you are used to. Okay. But think about that. Now that you have a system on who to bring on board, can you teach other leaders, other managers to be able to do that? Yes. Now it's transferable. Now they actually have a rubric, metrics to go off of when they're looking to bring somebody on board. So it makes it easier to be able to tell the quality of people that you're going to be able to come on board because they understand. Yes, there's going to be a little bit of personal bias, but by having that rubric, it allows that personal bias to really be like 80% removed. Okay. You're never going to be 100% removed from any kind of personal bias. Just be realistic. We're human. We're not robots. Okay. And that leads to the next step. Okay. That step 2 of the process is you have to have some kind of roadmap for the people that you're bringing on board. Okay. And that is super important because you need to know and they need to know what expectations are when they come on board. And I like to do a 90-day roadmap for new hires where I break it down like, hey, your first 90 days, this is what I expect of you. I get it. You already have industry experience, but this is a different organization. The systems we use are going to be different. The policies and procedures we have are going to be different. So you have to understand those. So it is going to take you a little bit of time to truly get acquainted with those policies and procedures. So I don't care if you have industry experience or if you don't, but I'm still going to have a 90-day roadmap for you. And I break it down. The first 2 weeks is typically like, hey, we're going to go through some of the more basic things. This is what I'll be needing you to do, but also to get rid of any freaking online learnings that need to be done. Okay. If you expect your people to take 2 weeks worth of, right, or 40 hours a week worth of e-learnings or online learnings to know everything they need to know without putting that shit into practice, you need to understand that none of that information is going to stick because you're giving them too much information with no way for them to utilize it. So they are literally going to lose it. It's going in one ear and out the other. That is exactly what you're doing. So you need to have the understanding, okay, that this is not going to be realistic for them to be able to retain all the information. So let's get this stuff done so that you have an understanding, and I'm going to have you take breaks. That's why I prefer doing it over 2 weeks, because then at least I can have them do a couple of trainings, an hour or two, and then go on the floor and see that in real life and be able to start understanding it. Okay. And then by the end of 2 weeks, they can at least do some of the most basic things. Okay. Take a bill payment, ring somebody out, some of the more basic things. By the end of the first month, we elevate that to something a little bit more advanced. Okay. By the end of 45 days, by the end of 60 days, by the end of 90 days, I make it very simple and I break it down to the most important metrics, the most important KPIs that I'm tracking. Because everything else will fall in line and they will learn the other smaller things. But if we can at least attack the most important KPIs within the first 90 days and get them to see that success, you're going to understand and see that, hey, within 45 days, the majority of the people I bring on board are actually attaining what I expect them to attain by 90 days. You're going to see that. And there's a few reasons, a few psychological reasons why that happens. And most important of that is because they're gaining the confidence by doing it. They're gaining that motivation by actually doing the work and seeing those results in real time. And that's very, very important. That's where a lot of people don't understand. A lot of y'all are trying to motivate people to get them to produce something when they don't even know how to fucking step in front of themselves, how to take that first step, because you haven't even done that part. You're too much rah, 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 and haven't even shown them how to properly walk in the industry. Okay. And that's what you have to take that step back and have to have that roadmap, because then it also forces you to understand, okay, there are things that they don't know that I know, and I don't know what they don't know, and they don't know what they don't know until we go through this. Because I got to see some kind of mastery to be able to get you to that point, right? If you will, call it some kind of certification. After 90 days, boom, you finish your new hire certification. You graduated from your new hire incubation, okay? Whatever the case you want to call it. But that's the most important thing you guys have to do. You have to have a roadmap. From there, the third thing that you need to do is you have to have some kind of training and development process. Great, you're giving them the roadmap. How are they learning this information to retain the information? You have to have something in place. Oh, they're going to be shadowing my best people. Your best people are trying to fucking sell. You're not paying them extra, are you, to be a trainer? No? Okay. Well, they want to be a leader. Great. They still have quotas to hit. They still have shit they got to do. And between them making their commissions, right, hitting their bonuses, and training the new person that's going to hold them back, the majority of your people don't like training the new person. That's just the way it is, okay? But you can make it easy and easier for everybody when you have some kind of some kind of way to train and develop them, right? All right, cool. This is what I'm looking for. This is what we're going to do. Take them in, do a small coaching session, train them up on the information, make sure they understand the basics, role play it with them, okay? Use a 15-minute framework. Actually start bridging that theory with practice. And you're going to start seeing that they are going to start actually doing this stuff. Because remember, what you're asking them to do is something they haven't done before. So they have to build new neural connections, new neural pathways to actually be able to retain that and do that. These are muscles that they haven't used that they're going to create. Okay, these are muscle memory. This is memory that they need to develop. So you have to understand that. Just like you go into the gym, great, you go to the gym. You work on certain, parts of your body. Now you go to a completely different gym, right? You might be doing nothing but, weights, okay? Looking to bulk up and working on your physique. And you go to another gym and now you're tasked with doing nothing but cardio, nothing but core workouts. You will not last because you have not built the muscle memory, the strength to be able to do those. That's exact same thing we're doing here. You're bringing people on board and you're asking them to do things they've never done before, even though they've been in a similar industry. So yes, some of the stuff might work, but without guidance, without training, without development, they will fail. And they will be looking for that exit because they're seeing, oh, these people aren't investing in me. It's not what I thought. This is what you told me, but I'm not getting any of that. And I'm asking, but I'm not getting anything because you're too busy doing whatever, right? That's what you need to work on. That's what you need to focus on. Focus on training, focus on development. Bring something to them that they can be able to utilize. And let them know, like, hey, it is going to be a little bit uncomfortable because it's going to be different. It's going to be new. That's okay. This is what we're going to work on. This is what we're going to focus on today. And have those. Don't overwhelm them with trying to do, 5 different things in one day. Break it down. This is why I love having that 90-day milestone. Omar, though, I don't have 90 days. Trust me, you do. Because guess what? If they leave within 30 days, you know how long it's going to take you to find somebody else? It's going to take you, right, 60 to fucking 90 days, if that. And you're still going to be, spinning your wheels. Understand what you're looking for and understand that you will be able to be successful bringing people on board. And you'll be more successful bringing people on board that aren't unicorns, that aren't sharks, that aren't aces, because they will cause you less issues with customers. Okay. And they will be far more consistent. They won't have the random ups and downs, okay, that you're so used to seeing with those sharks, where they're on fire and then they get in their feels. You're not going to have to deal with that, okay? They're going to be consistent. And when you have that consistency and you can rely on that consistency for performance, now you can really start thinking about, okay, one, if we focus on increasing their output 5, 10, 15% in these categories, how much is that going to improve the organization? Because you might be thinking 5, 10, 15% ain't going to be much. That 5, 10, 15% can mean a 20 to 50% jump in profits for the organization. What? How? Because of the way those KPIs pay out. Because of the revenue those KPIs that they're going to be working on are able to actually improve the bottom line for the organization. And it's consistent. And that's the important thing that you guys need to understand, especially if you're in sales. Consistency is always going to win out, okay? Because somebody who's consistently trying and improving will only get better over time. And they will retain all that information. That's what you're looking for. So you have to have a system in place to be able to bring people to see, all right, is this the kind of individual I want to bring on board to the organization? Are they actually going to add or are they going to detract? Okay. Do they have the baseline skills that we need? If you're in sales and you're bringing somebody who's never had customer service experience, it's going to take them a while to learn that fucking basic customer service experience before they're going to be great or even good. Is it going to be possible to find somebody who could be a diamond in the rough in that? Yes. Is that going to be the rule or the exception? That's going to be the exception to the rule. The rule is going to be that 90% of the people I bring on board, 95% of the people I bring on board in that same situation are going to fail because they don't even have a baseline for customer service. And that's what you need to understand. Once you have that baseline, you have those certain skill sets that are going to make it easier to learn the rest of the skill sets. If you play video games, it's the exact same thing. You need certain skills to unlock other skill branches. Same shit, just in the real world. Okay? It's just like working out too. It's like playing any sports. You have to have certain skill sets to be able to do something, right? You think you're going to be able to, do 50-pound dumbbells when you can't even do 10-pound dumbbells? No, and that's what we're talking about. But when you have systems in place, it makes things easier. It's a procedure that can go through and you can teach others how to do it. And now it becomes easier for everybody involved, the organization, and the new people coming on board. So take that to heart. Have your 3 steps. Okay, have a system in place for hiring people, for the way the interview process goes. Have a roadmap for when people come on board. I like 90-day roadmaps because it gives a true window on what they should expect within the next 3 months. Okay, and you have to be realistic about what kind of individuals you're bringing on board. Okay, and what the expectations are. Because if you spent 3-6 months looking for somebody and you're expecting them to be able to produce within 2 weeks, no, it's not going to work that way. Okay? And then you have to have some way of training and develop them once they come on board. Because that is going to be the reason why they stick past those first 90 days and stay with you a lot longer, or the reason why they're going to be leaving sooner than later. And if you're wondering, Omar, it just it's a lot. How do I do this? Take a look at the resources in the video, grab those resources for yourself and start using them. Small steps are going to create much better future for you. So, guys, I'm going to leave it there for y'all today. I want to say thank you once again for stepping into another episode here at the Sales Manager Academy podcast. I'm Omar, and I'll catch you on the next one.